It's recording time. Hello, recorders. I'm reporting to you live from Powerhouse Comic Con, and I am here with the legend himself, Mr. Captain America himself, Red Brown. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. It's great being a superhero. I really enjoy it. How are you guys doing? All right?
Well, we're doing well, sir. And, we've been through a rough last 2 years, because of the pandemic. And usually you got to remind yourself heroes like Captain America, like their patriotism, can help you overcome anything. I heard that early you've been a fan of Captain America before he took on the role. What is it about the character that you like the most?
Well, the most important thing about Captain America is there's no anything else going on below, like Batman or something like that. It's pure. And it's a thing, it's American, and it's, all for good, and that's all you want to do. Just like Chris Evans said in the movie, I can do this all day long. That's what it's all about, because it's a pure character, and people respond to that, and we need it now. We really do. And it's been tough, but, we're coming back.
Well, yes, we are, sir. And speaking of which, I actually saw in your background that your father was a police sergeant. Did any of his, authoritism, inspire your portrayal of Captain America?
Yeah, well, yes, it did, because my dad was a policeman. I actually was a county sheriff for a short period of time. And the difference between right and wrong and growing up that way and respecting the law and respecting your elders and doing what is right, I think that's what it's all about. And we need that today. We need people to come back and be American again. That's what is going on. And I firmly believe that. And that's why I love being Captain America.
Well, that's very inspirational, sir. And also, I saw what gave you the advantage is that you actually have a martial arts background. Tell us about, what did you study?
I've got a purple belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, a black belt in American Karate, and a black belt in Shintokan. Yeah, so I boxed as a kid. I had amateur fights as a kid. I actually bounced in a bar before I was discovered. And that's kind of an interesting story. I was working in Pasadena at a place called the Handlebar Saloon. And the Handlebar Saloon was this place that was right next to this place that a lot of entertainers used to go to, and an Asian came in that night. And I was in the middle of throwing two people out. And I had one in each hand. And he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, kid, you want to be an actor?" I said, "Just a moment." And I smacked their heads together, threw them out the door, and I said, "What would I do?" He says, "That'll work." That's the truth. And then after that, I ended up getting with Dirk Benedict and Heather Menzies and Strother Martin. And then I got under contract at Universal, and that's how I started out.
Wow, it's just about being in the right place at the right time, kind of like Cap himself, when it came for him to get enlisted in the Army and the super soldier serum. But here's one thing I'm a little curious. Before you accepted the role or when you knew you were going to get the role, were you ever, concerned of any fears of typecasting, kind of like Adam West as Batman?
No, I was very proud to play that role. I really enjoyed it because, like I say, it was such a pure character. It was about good. And, how can you not like that? And who doesn't want to run 55 miles an hour and do things like that? I got a quick story about when we were filming in Venice Beach, California. I was in my motorhome, and I came out of my motorhome, and there was this guy on the wall that was drinking heavily, okay? And he looks up at me, and he says, "Man, I got to stop drinking." And he slides down the wall, and, of course, it blew me out of character, okay? And he comes back up and he goes, "Well, maybe not." But that actually happened there at the beach in Venice Beach. But I'll never forget that. It was so funny. It was really a kick.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. That's really good. And I wanted to also talk about that. Did you do any of your motorcycle stunts?
I did some of the things, but Gary Davis was the main writer of that. And he actually was the one that did Evel Knievel movie, too. Okay, I rode the bike at times and crashed a couple of times, and my body tells me so. But I didn't do any of the really, really heavy-duty stuff. I got to ride it, and I kept wanting to go out of the back of the van, but they said, "Reb, the insurance won't cover you." And I said, "What are you going to do?"
Yeah, that's whoa, what can you do? And also, I heard from a couple of interesting stories that you almost did some crossover films with the Spider-Man and Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk, but although those projects didn't get, made, the closest we got to you with working with Lou Ferrigno was the movie Cage. What was it like you guys working together on that project?
We had a blast. I really care about Lou. He's a good guy, and he was a lot of fun. First time I met him, he weighed 265 pounds. The second cage we did, he weighed 315. My wife looked at him and said, "That's the only man she's ever seen that could eat dinner off his chest." He's a good guy, and it was fun being that, and doing that together. And I really enjoyed it very much. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for sharing that. And on a final note, please tell us what is it that you're doing in your life lately, career-wise?
As far as I just go to these Comic-Cons, I'm basically retired, and somebody calls me up and wants me to do something, I'll check it out and then go from there. But I mean, I enjoy meeting the people at the Comic-Cons, and one of the most important things to me is when people come up and a father will be with a child, and he watched me as a kid, and he's got a smile on his face and sometimes tears, and you can see the reaction from the little boy, and it makes me feel terrific. It just really, really makes me feel good.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us, sir. This is why I like going to Comic-Cons. Any social medias you'd like to tell us?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, and my website is Reb Brown official website at .com and .net, and I'm on Cameo too, and as a celebrity. So if you ever want to get on and have a shout out or something like that, just let me know. And I've got some nice pictures on that website.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Rob, and we are Art Recorders. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button, comment down below, and remember, I'm on Cameo if you like a special shout out from me, and catch you next time.